Good evening, everybody. I'd like to make a motion to return to public session. Do I have a second? Mr. Fain, all in favor of returning to public session? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. We have no board recognition tonight, which makes me very sad because it's my favorite thing. We have no presentations. Mr. Schimpf, do we have any administrative reports this evening?
We do not.
So we are on to correspondence. And I know that we did a lot of back to school nights. So I'm going to start on this side with Mr. Mayor, and everybody can go around and just give a little bit about the back to school nights that they attended since our last meeting.
I don't recall if it was before the last meeting or not, but I was able to attend, attended back to school night for Cherry Hill West. And with Ms. Sherfain, we were there to greet happy parents, send them on their way, help them find the right people to ask to get to their children's classrooms. But it was another great night of seeing the enthusiastic teachers. They love meeting with the parents, seeing the administration ready to go. And while we weren't, I stayed through most of the introduction, through the welcoming. Once things got going, I sort of slump off, and it was happy
You didn't need to attend your 500th back to school night as a West parent?
It was
It was your final back to school night as a West parent.
And it was meaningful. I was glad to be there. But again, it was about the parents, and I know that the staff was, as always, prepared and ready to welcome the parents and enthusiastic about what they do and show the parents that. I was able to attend one other event of note, the annual East versus West soccer night. I got there just in time for the second half of the girls' game. We watched that exciting game. Congratulations, Cherry Hill East. And was there for the boys' game, along with Mr. Greenbaum. It was an honor to meet the captains and observe the coin toss and have a sideline opportunity to see a great game between two schools that just love to play against each other. The energy on both sides was outstanding. Student sections were loud. They were boisterous. They were very well behaved, but aggressive. And it was a wonderful night. And I was very pleased to be close to seeing at least one outstanding athletic performance. But both teams, were ready to go from the beginning. The rain did not slow anyone down. The rain didn't dampen anything other than our physical our bodies. But it was a wonderful night. So great that Cherry Hill gets up for these things, whether it's football or soccer. That is one of the I think true benefits of having two large high schools. The competition is spectacular, and it's where it belongs. It's on the field. It's good spirited, and it's something that I'm certainly going to miss. I was glad I was there.
So you might have attended your first high school or your last high school back to school night, but I attended my first at Cherry Hill West this a couple weeks ago. I don't even know what day it is now. It was sometime in September that we were there, as well as Beck's, which was nice. It was the first time that I was inside of Beck. I've been outside for many activities, but it was the first time I was inside. Got to meet a lot of staff, tons of parents. Apparently I know those hallways really well now, and that was exciting. And then as well as those two, I also attended the ribbon cutting for the Kingston APR, which was really, really exciting to have a formal opening of the APRs and to see some kids enjoying a good game of basketball in the APR.
Thank you. So I attended back to school nights at Malberg, Russell Knight, Rosa, East, and last night at Sharp. And so I really got to see a bunch of different schools around the district. It's just always it's such a joyous occasion. That's what I was saying at Sharp last night, just the excitement of families when they come into the school, getting ready for the school year, seeing what their kids are going to learn. It's just such amazing energy in all the schools around the district, and everybody was just so excited to be there and welcoming. It's just great. So it was really nice. I also was at the ribbon cutting, and then Mr. Greenbaum and I also participated in the candidates forum through Zone PTA and the League of Women Voters. So that's all I did over the past 2 weeks. It was a lot. Mr. Greenbaum.
All right, not leaving me with much to talk about here, but that's okay.
expedience. I attended Cooper back to school night. It also happens to be my kids' homeschool. But had some nice conversations with parents, new and returning, and it's very well attended and ran smooth as always. I also had the pleasure of attending East versus West soccer game with Mr. Mayor. It's an exciting game, even with the rain. Packed stands, really amazing players. And it's always great when the community can come together as one Cherry Hill.
Dr. Dreisen.
Great, thank you. Since our last meeting, I had an opportunity to attend Ocean County School Board Association meeting. This was particularly interesting, given the focus was on AI. As you may have heard in our prior meetings, the C&I committee discussed AI, and now it's gone over to P&L. And as Ms. Winters had mentioned, a number of other districts, not just ours, is focused on this topic right now. There's actually going to be 18 different sessions at our upcoming workshop focus exclusively on AI under a bucket of as that is an area of focus. So it's interesting to hear what other counties are talking about.
Thank you, Ms. Stern.
Well, I was really trying to beat your record, Mrs. Winters, in attending back to school nights. I don't think that I did, because I think in total I only attended 6. So I think you attended more than me. I would have attended Cadence if they hadn't been moved. But anyway, all right, that would have been 7, but still, I don't think I would have been here. All right, so we're getting a little competitive about this. So on September 10th, I did, and I normally don't do this, but I did write this down. September 10th, the dates. September 10th, I attended Man's back to school night, saw their new APR, which was exciting. And I attended Rosa 6th grade back to school night and saw a lot of the bond work improvements, which was fantastic to see. I attended back to school night at Stockton and was not able to direct any parent to any of the classrooms, which was, by the way, that's the theme everywhere, even though my kids went to that school. Everything has changed. So, and then I attended the back to school night, 6th grade back to school night. And I saw parents almost running across the building. And comments like, my kid's going to have double dessert tonight. I had no idea how much she has to run back and forth. And in hearing a little bit more from the parents and some of the staff talking about it, I think it's a challenge. I think that the junior high model has created a challenge with that. And it was interesting to kind of hear about that the kids are kind of zooming around. And, I think it's a challenge to us to, in year 1, really see how the more cohesion can get created, not just for the students, but for the staff, because they're not having like the team stuff that they used to have as part of their cohorts. So that was, it's kind of interesting hearing about that. It was also really cool. They were asking all the students, and I think this was the, part of the effort to create a sense of belonging and unity and cohesion. So they were doing Falling into Belonging, a fall core value initiative. So they were asking every parent to grab a leaf for their student to fill out about, to decorate a cutout paper leaf, represent the reflections on compassion and belonging. So I love that they were doing that. And again, like every school you go to, you learn about the different ways that they're kind of do something special, like the sorting ceremony at Johnson, like just all these different things. So it was neat to learn that. And then I went to the Kilmer back to school night, which was, great as always. And I got to see the acting principal and the new principal, who was starting the next day in the building. I think he was starting the next day. So that was really cool, as always. And I mean, so well attended, just scores and scores of parents and many kids too, who come. So it was great. At the APR dedication at Kingston, a particular sense of satisfaction, being part of that kind of official, opening and ribbon cutting. Yeah, I think that was it.
That is a lot. Ms. Palmer.
Okay, so I attended not quite as many back to school nights, but I was at Bret Hart, Clara Barton, Thomas Paine, and then I attended both the 6th grade and the 7th and 8th grade back to school nights at Carusi. They split theirs into 2. It's always
fascinating to me just to see the differences in personalities from school to school. And I think that's especially evident at the elementary level. It's always special. Truly appreciate the amount of parent participation that I see just uniformly across our district. That is one thing that does not vary from school to school. And also was heartened by the amount of attention that at the middle level that every single teacher that I heard speak at Carusi, both sessions, focused on the ways that they're using the win period, which is very new for all of us this year. Love to hear that very much it's being used for enrichment for what students need if they need extra help. So, I look forward to updates on that, but I thought that was a great start. And again, fantastic feedback on the temporary classrooms at Carusi. I think for the sixth graders in particular, it's having that intended consequence of creating that smaller community as they kind of ease their way in the middle. So thank you to everybody for having me.
Perfect. And Dr. Braddock, who is joining us from cyberspace this evening, do you have any correspondence to share?
Can you hear me first of all?
We can.
Okay, I do not because I was making another human was arriving. So say hi to Tenley, which is also why I'm in cyberspace. But no correspondence. Maybe next week or the week after.
That was the best correspondence ever. Welcome,
Well,
Tenley.
Tenley's
We're
happy to be
excited that we
here.
have a new future Cherry Hill Public School student. So
Abby,
exciting.
she will be at Rosa and East and Johnson, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, so Tenley says hi. So if anybody in the crowd sees me moving around, it's because I'm feeding a tiny human.
Thank you for joining us remotely, Dr. Braddock. We appreciate it. And congratulations to you and your family. That's wonderful news. Okay, so I don't think anybody can top that correspondence. That was wonderful. And we're going to go to our student representatives, and I'm going to start this time with High School West for the report.
Okay, so for our September report, school has officially started with everyone back into their routines. All of our games, clubs, and activities are thriving. For extras, our guidance counselor, Ms. Strummel, arranged a college instant decision day with 6 different colleges where West kids can sign up and get accepted on the spot. We are having an HBCU college fair on November 17th with on-site admissions and scholarship opportunities. On September 16th, 17th, and 19th, we held another round of senior portraits in the broadcasting room. The deadline of applications to attend the senior trip to Disney is right around the corner this Friday, October 3rd. So if any seniors plan to attend, they should sign up now. West hallways have been flooded with extra purple this year every Friday, as we are showing off our school pride extra this year. Students are super excited about our Fridays as our amazing staff at the Cherry Hill West Activities Office offer line stickers and tattoos. And to ensure that everyone can rep West merch, we have a donation bin for everyone to drop off their merch. The same teachers are posting student recognition on our Cherry Hill West Way Instagram account to foster a positive environment and increase school spirit. And now for academics. Our senior parents were able to attend the Parent College Night on September 18th from 6 to 7:45 p.m. with an overview of Naviance, Common App, and financial aid. On September 26th, West had our annual fall pep rally. All of our fall sports got the recognitions that they deserved. Teachers and students also engaged in various fun games like basketball, musical chairs, roundabout rush, and human ring toss. On September 29th, we held a financial aid night at 7 in the auditorium to prepare parents for filing for the FAFSA. As for athletics, on September 17th, athletes from both West and East participated in a positive coaching workshop to make every player a better teammate. Our girls and boys cross-country teams recently visited Six Flags on September 27th after racing the Adventure Safari 5K with many personal records being beaten. Our West girls varsity volleyball team placed 3rd at the annual Eastern Volleyball Tournament this past Saturday. And although we unfortunately lost in the soccer night in Cherry Hill this recent Saturday, however, we were thrilled to see the student support from both schools. And this Friday, our football team will be having their senior day and a pink out at our home game against Triton for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We will be selling t-shirts where all proceeds will go to the American Cancer Society. Additionally, we are so excited for the East vs. West football game on October 9th. As for our arts, our whole set of concert dates for every choir and band has been set. All of our dates can be found on the music website. Our ceramic club has officially opened back up with many additional students working on our mosaic and A-wing. The progress is amazing and it should be completed soon. For extracurriculars, we had our activity fair on September 19th during both LBs. Our turnout has been great as these incoming freshmen are super involved. Clubs old and new are starting up again. The Lions Roar newspaper is expected to have over double the writers it had last year. West is also introducing its new HOSA, or Future Health Professionals chapter, in collaboration with the Science Club. Latinos at West is holding their annual Hispanic Heritage Month tour at multiple elementary schools to educate and celebrate the many different Hispanic cultures. And West cannot wait to see how this amazing year unfolds. We wish all students and staff a great October. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very much looking forward to the football game between West and East and Latinos at West tour. It's one of my favorite things every year. Switching to High School East.
Thank you. We have had a great start to the school year at East, and we are looking forward to a great year. We have a lot of things to talk about. Starting with academics, East welcomed the class of 29 at the start of the school year on September 2nd. Everyone is very well adjusted. We have unprecedented levels of turnout for all of our extracurriculars among the freshman class. East was a testing site for the SAT exam on Saturday, September 13th from roughly 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. There will be another SAT held at East this coming Saturday, October 4th. Our guidance department has begun hosting a series of events to help seniors and parents understand the college application process. Meetings for students were held during lunch from September 15th to September 17th. Last night, on the 29th, there was a college night for seniors and parents. The final event will be a college financial aid night on October 15th. Moving on to activities, Senior Sunrise was held on Friday, September 5th, before the school day began. Seniors gathered on the field to celebrate the start of our last school year with friends. Picture Day for all sophomores and juniors, as well as freshmen who did not attend orientation, was on Tuesday, September 16th. Additionally, the final round of senior portraits began Monday, September 15th, and continued through Friday, September 18th. Our activities fair was held during lunch on Wednesday, September 17th, and Thursday, September 18th, to great success. Freshmen and sophomores were able to explore and get involved in the dozens of amazing extracurricular activities offered at East. Our back to school night was held on Thursday, September 18th from 7 to 9 p.m. Parents had the opportunity to go through their children's schedules and meet their teachers, as well as attend a presentation hosted by administration and guidance. Freshman student government elections were held on September 25th and September 29th. Congratulations to class president Iela Ganguly and vice presidents Taylor Park, Lauren New, and Audrey Wren. Moving on to athletics, the East football team is off to an amazing 5-0 start, shutting out Atlantic Tech 42-0 on Thursday the 25th. All eyes are on Tuesday, October 9th, when East faces West in the annual boot game. The boot, as expected, is already sitting with us, and we do not plan on giving it back anytime soon. East girls and boys soccer hosted its first games under the light at the Cougar Stadium on September 27th, with both of our teams defeating Cherry Hill West 3-1 and 1-0 respectively. East girls volleyball is off to an impressive 8-1 start and is preparing for its next match versus Absegami on Friday, October 3rd. Congratulations to all of our fall sports team for their successes, and we wish them luck as they finish their seasons. Finally, with arts, East Theater Department has been hard at work on their first show of the year, Fast Food. This is the Crimson Theater production for this year, meaning the cast is entirely freshmen and sophomores, with juniors and seniors acting as directors and stage managers. The show will be one night only on Friday, October 3rd at 7:30 p.m., so make sure you get your tickets. Overall, we've had a very successful September and are looking forward to a great school year.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the updates. So now we are moving on to first public comment. There will be 2 opportunities for public comment this evening, and the first public comment section is for board action items only. If you wish to speak on any topic other than what appears on the agenda, you may speak during the second public comment, and speakers must provide their name and municipality. Students may comment on any topic during the first public comment period by identifying themselves as a student. That means if you're online, please put an S after your name. That way I know to call on you first and that you can comment on any topic. We will alternate between speakers in the room and those wishing to comment online. Each speaker has 3 minutes to speak, and the timer on the screen will indicate the amount of time remaining. All statements, questions, or comments shall be addressed to the chair, and your inquiry may or may not be addressed by administration at the close of the session. So I'm now opening first public comment. By tradition, we start in the room. Is there anyone who would like to approach the microphone for first public comment? I don't see any takers at the moment. 1 second. I do see a hand online. It's a phone number ending in 788. If you could unmute and give us your name and municipality and the agenda item you're speaking on.
My name is Jeff Podowitz, and I live in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and I'm talking about 16.3, appointment certificated LaCoya Wethington, interim supervisor of student services. Please vote no. Something happened a number of years ago, and that's why I'm bringing this up. In an article written November 5th, 2018, by Bob Halpern and his Cherry Hill Sun. There were a series of 2 articles, by the way. It's entitled Cherry Hill School District Found to be in Violation of State SEPAG Requirements. Local parents group which filed complaint vows vigilance on all district education matters. The parent group is CHEPTA, Cherry Hill Special Ed PTA. Please read this and article and another one from the Cherry Hill Sun. It wasn't only on the SEPAG. They weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. But that was Cherry Hill School District. The result of this was basically that the state of New Jersey,
Dr. Podowitz, is this on the agenda item still?
Yes, it is. I told you the agenda item. It's 16.3. I'm saying don't vote for LaCoya Wethington.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank
why?
you.
It goes on from here. Please don't interrupt me, which is what you do, which you've done
I
before.
apologize. I misunderstood, Dr. Podowitz. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I understand that. Give me some more time, which you won't. All right? The chapter filed a complaint because the district was not doing what it was supposed to do. The state solution was to create a SEPAG, which school leaderships and administrative leaders lead. All right? It is under their supervision. Chapter was not. Now, it just so happens Ms. Wethington was praised by SPAN, and under the article, Cherry Hill Making It Work, written back then, to how wonderful it is that Cherry Hill created this SEPAG. Well, the state coming down and not really taking care of the complaint, all right, but saying this is the solution, do it SEPAG, and he or she is Ms. Wethington in this article, Cherry Hill Making It Work, taking credit and how wonderful she is and how wonderful the Cherry Hill District is, all right, for creating this SEPAG. So just read that article and read what the Cherry Hill Sun does. Cherry Hill School District found to be in violation of state SEPAG requirements when they were in violation of a lot more than that. So read those articles, find what it is. And Ms. Wethington should have never been given credit, but she was. How wonderful the district is when, in fact, they were not at that point. And it's the fact that credit was given, all right, when it shouldn't have been given.
Thank you, Dr. Podowitz. Thank you for calling in. All right, going back to the room, is there anyone who would like to make first public comment on an agenda item? I don't see anyone in the room. Going back online, the next person's name is Brendan. Please give us your full name and municipality and the action item you're speaking on.
Hi guys, my name's Brendan Silverstein. I was a student at Cherry Hill West. Before that, I went to Bret Hart. I went to Sharp. I
Mr.
moved all
Silverstein,
around.
are you speaking on an action item that we're voting on our agenda tonight, or is this a general public comment?
Do I have to wait till the second to have a general comment?
Are you a current student in the district?
I am not. I'm doing this for an educational assignment. So do you want me to wait till the second one?
Yeah, second public comment.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Please give us a call back. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Anybody else in the room who would like to comment on an action item that we are taking action on this evening? I don't see anybody. Looking back online, I don't see anybody with a hand raised, so I'm going to close first public comment and move to superintendent comments.
Thank you very much, Ms. Winters. Wow, probably move this back just a little bit. Just a few comments for me this evening. Just want to double down and also wish everyone celebrating very happy Hispanic Heritage Month. The month runs for approximately 30 days or so from September 15th through October 15th. Definitely appreciate and recognize and honor the contributions of the members of the Hispanic and Latino American community. Thank you to all of those who have helped the school year get off to a great start. September is a time where we transition students in and we begin to teach students routines. And by all accounts, from personal observation and additional anecdotes, we have gotten off to a great start. I'm particularly grateful to our staff for the way that as a district, our staff has tackled challenges. We're no different than other districts that have faced budgetary challenges, construction-based challenges, and things along those lines. But as I observe and see the impact, particularly with our middle level program, what we did in going through that process was allow a committee of individuals, teachers, administrators, and other faculty to collaborate in the development of that schedule. And we trust it. We trust the recommendations that have come forward, that those people who have the expertise and who walk a mile in those shoes provide us with their perspective. And I think it's paid off. That trust is paid off. It's not perfect by any means, and there'll continue to be a need to make adjustments. But that's just one anecdote as well. I have to tell you, I really had no idea how the TCUs would turn out at Carusi. So the Carusi building is undergoing unprecedented construction. That entire building is being torn apart and rebuilt, right? Think about just a frame, what a house looks like when it's torn down to the studs and then rebuilt. That's essentially analogous to what's happening over at Carusi. And just to see the way that the TCUs have been set up, the thought that's gone into the equation, the work that the administration has done, that the facilities team has done, it's remarkable. It is absolutely remarkable. And again, it makes me grateful to have the opportunity to interact and work with people who are true problem solvers, who are willing to iterate and always find like these positive solutions to positively impact students. So truly outstanding. October is a great month. Aside from the fact that it's a wonderful month to be born, and it's actually a great month. Thank you. Very festive month, filled with many wonderful events and celebrations and transitions as well. This month we'll celebrate the Week of Respect. There's a resolution that's on the agenda for this evening. That's scheduled to be the week of October 6th through 10th. Every week should be a week of respect, though, technically, and every day should be a day of respect where we interact with one another in the manner that we would like our individuals to interact with us. Just important. I can't double down on that concept enough of treating individuals with respect, with dignity, with courtesy, and with kindness. So this week serves as a reminder, but it's always a reminder for us to behave in that manner. Won't steal any other thunder from Mr. Mayor's comments, but Saturday night was truly a remarkable evening in Cherry Hill Public Schools, and soccer night in Cherry Hill, major success. Thank you to all those who came out. Unfortunately, I was in a family celebration, but Mr. Burrell sent me a picture of the high school East students with what looked like baby powder thrown in the air as they celebrated their wonderful win over High School West. But truly a win for Cherry Hill in totality. So congratulations to everyone who took part. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Morton. Moving on to our action items for this evening, we're starting with item 13.1, which is the resolution appointing a member to fill the board vacancy. And is there any board member who would like to make a motion to appoint a board candidate for the vacant seat? Ms. Palmer.
I'd like to move to appoint Melissa Manzano to the Board of Education.
There's a motion on the floor to appoint Melissa Manzano. Is there a second? Mr. Mayor. Mr. Schimpf, can you please take a roll call vote on the motion to appoint?
Mr. Braddock.
Sorry, Mr. Schimpf. I apologize. Mr. Fain is correct. I should have opened it up to comments. That was my fault. I said I was going to do that, and then I got excited and didn't. So, Mr. Fain, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, this is very loud. Thank you. So I just wanted to make a quick comment as someone who I feel like I generally am the opposition to a lot of the decisions and discussions that we have. And this not being my first process of going through this, I'd like to say that I feel that there was very good discussion around this in our executive session before this meeting. So I appreciate all of my fellow board members' perspective, as I did not initially have the same. And I feel that I'm more secure with the decision that we're making tonight based off of the discussion that we had. So I appreciate that. And I wanted to say thank you to those who provided their insight to me.
Thank you, Mr. Fain. Does any other board member have a comment? Ms. Stern?
I just want to thank Board President Winters for your very thorough, thoughtful effort to really have a well-designed process for us. So I want to thank you for all of that and for the ongoing communication with us about that process.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Ms. Palmer?
So I want to echo what Mrs. Sherfain said. I truly appreciated the discussion. I thought there were a lot of fantastic points made. There was a lot for us to think about. I also do, just since there are more people in the room, and I know Mrs. Winters, you said it earlier, I just want to thank all of the candidates who applied, the 3 who came out and interviewed tonight. It is not easy to put yourself out there and even ask to sit in this seat. So I appreciate anyone's willingness to step up and serve the community this way.
I also just want to say that, as I told the candidates, I was in their position twice. I interviewed once and was not selected, and then I interviewed again and was. So I've been in both positions. And the first time I interviewed and I was not selected, it wasn't the end of my involvement attending board meetings and being part of the community of Cherry Hill Public Schools. There are all different ways to be involved in the community. So I really encourage everybody who submitted a resume, everybody who was interested in the position, everybody who put themselves forward. It really is an amazing opportunity to serve on the board, but there are so many other ways that you can serve the community. And I encourage everybody to stay involved, to keep their voices out there and strong. Anybody else have any other comments? Dr. Braddock, I'm being told, I can't see you, but that you have a comment.
Yeah, I do. In the spirit of collaboration, I actually want to thank Ms. Sherfain for her points too during executive, because I think that she does an excellent job of bringing up points that we don't think about. So in the spirit of collaboration and the spirit of good spirited discussion, I wanted to thank Ms. Sherfain as well.
Anybody else have a comment? Well, I think with all of this collaboration and teamwork, we are a great board team that Ms. Manzano is joining, and we're excited to have her with us if the vote goes the way I think it will. So Mr. Schimpf, please call the roll.
Mr. Braddock.
Yes.
Dr. Braddock. Ms. Sherfain.
Yes.
Dr. Dreisen.
Yes.
Mr. Greenbaum.
Yes.
Mr. Mayer.
Yes.
Ms. Palmer.
Yes.
Ms. Stern.
Yes.
Ms. Winters.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Ms. Manzano. We're excited to welcome you to the board. Okay, moving on to the CNI agenda. I will move the CNI agenda. The superintendent recommends, and I move the following. 14.1, approval of attendance at conference and workshops for the 25-26 school year. 14.2, approval of out-of-district student placement for the 25-26 school year. 14.3, approval of professional service agreements for the 25-26 school year. 14.4, resolution approving educational services for the 25-26 school year. 14.5, resolution approving professional service agreements between the Cherry Hill Board of Education and Southern New Jersey Perinatal and SJP Cooperative for the 25-26 school year. 14.6, approving the use of commissioner-approved activities for highly effective tenured teachers. And 14.7, approval of consultant agreement. Do I have a second? Ms. Sherfain, are there any questions on the CNI agenda tonight? Ms. Stern?
Just a comment on 14.7. And I'm going to say her name wrong, but Ms. Patty Pasersha, I think is the proper, I think I've been saying it wrong this whole time, is on our agenda. And And this is she would be stepping in to assist with some support services for our special ed central office team. This is something that came out of, was first discussed or brought to a committee. And I just really want to thank Dr. Morton for supporting this, Ms. Mallory for bringing this forward. This is an effort to continue to strengthen and support the way we deliver special education services in the district by bringing in a highly skilled, highly experienced person with administrative, many years of administration in public schools, high school public schools district, and others, to provide some extra support in a very fiscally responsible way as a consultant, rather than hiring an extra position or what have you. And I'm excited to see how that benefits our district and specifically our special ed students and families. So I was very happy to see that this is on the agenda tonight. So just want to thank you both for your leadership, or thank you all who are involved for your leadership. So thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other comments on the CNI agenda tonight? Questions, comments, concerns? Mr. Schimpf, can you please open the voting?
Voting's open.
Mr. Schimpf, on 14.2, I will be a yes, but I need to abstain on the contract award to Bancroft.
Mr. Schimpf, I'm going to abstain on 14.7. Unfortunately, I've been locked out of my account today and was unable to review the information provided this morning about that item. It is nothing about the item itself. I just unfortunately able to review any of that information.
Just a point of clarification. The pop-up on my screen was to vote on 14.1 through 14.6. So I just want to clarify if we are voting on 14.1 through 14.7.
Yes, the motion is as I read it out.
So disregard what's on the screen. That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Schimpf, I think that's right, because the motion would be as I read it and then was seconded.
Correct. Through 14.7.
Mr. Schmitz, I don't see the voting window popping up on my screen, so, but please mark me down as a yes on all.
Noted. Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Schimpf. Mr. Greenbaum, can you please move the BNF agenda?
Thank you. The superintendent recommends, and I move the following. 15.1, approval of minutes, board working session, special action meeting minutes, and executive session minutes dated August 12th, 2025. 15.2, approval of minutes, regular meeting minutes, and executive session minutes dated August 26th, 2025. 15.3, financial reports. 15.4, resolution for the award of transportation. 15.5, resolution approving participation in the National Purchasing Cooperative. 15.6, resolution authorizing and approving certain purchases in excess of the bid threshold through New Jersey state contracts and/or purchasing system cooperatives. 15.7, resolution authorizing and approving certain purchases in excess of the bid threshold through New Jersey state contracts and/or purchasing system cooperatives. 15.8, resolution approving special education tuition agreement for out-of-state student. 15.9, resolution for the award of change orders. 15.10, resolution authorizing acceptance of the fiscal year 2026 Teach STEM classes in non-public schools grant. And 15.11, resolution utilize the 2025 emergency maintenance repairs and modifications of infrastructure facilities, road storm sanitary and utility program under the Cherry Hill Cooperative Pricing System identifier 37-CHCPS. Do I have a second? Ms. Palmer, are there any questions? Seeing none, Mr. Schimpf, please open the voting.
Voting's open.
Mr. Schimpf, on 15.3, I just have to recuse myself from the fourth bill list to recuse myself from a conflict of interest with Beata. Thank you.
Similarly, Mr. Schimpf, on 15.3, I have to recuse myself from invoices to effective school solutions to avoid a conflict.
And
And also, I'm still trying to reload board docs. Would be a yes on all items.
Noted.
Mr. Schimpf, I have one more for you. I'm a yes, except on 15.3, I need to abstain from the payments to Bancroft on bill list number 4.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Mr. Fain, can you please move the HR agenda?
Sure. The superintendent recommends and I move the following: 16.1 termination of employment certificated, 16.2 termination of employment non-certificated, 16.3 appointment certificated, 16.4 appointments non-certificated, 16.5 assignment salary change certificated, 16.6 assignment salary change non-certificated, 16.7 leaves of absence certificated, 16.8 leaves of absence non-certificated, 16.9 other compensation certificated, and 16.10 approval of sidebar agreement. Do I have a second? Ms. Winters, are there any comments? Seeing none, I have one. I would just like to draw attention to what item is that? Wait a minute. It's at 16.3. We are finally filling the vacancy of the ROTC instructor. Although I do not know this individual, I'm extremely excited that this is no longer a vacancy in the district. I know that we've had a tremendous amount of growth in this program over the last year, and I'm beyond excited to see where this continues with a secondary instructor and the expertise that this person is bringing on. So welcome, and I'm excited, assuming this goes the right way. All right, Mr. Schimpf, can you please open the voting?
Voting's open.
Mr. Schimpf, I'm a no on 16.3A. Yes to the rest, please.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And with that, I see 2 new administrators who have joined the team tonight. Dr. Martin, would you like to welcome them?
Absolutely. It is my pleasure to introduce first Mrs. Haritha Totem-Pudi, new principal of Stockton Elementary School. Ms. Totem-Pudi comes to us from Plainfield Public Schools, where she's an assistant principal currently. She's also been an instructional coach there. She's been a teacher for over a decade in the South Brunswick School District. She stood out throughout the entire process for her strong instructional knowledge, great instructional leader, her understanding of how to use data to drive achievement and to drive instruction, her understanding of the multi-tiered systems of supports process and how to use that to support an entire community. What I was most impressed by in our conversation is what my conversation asking her about her vision for Stockton and moving forward. What she communicated to me was this idea of creating a collaborative vision with all the different stakeholders in the school. And that summarizes exactly who we are as a school district. And I knew she was the perfect fit. She has a degree in economics from Kane University, and also a master's degree in educational leadership from Seton Hall University. Ms. Totem-Pudi, if you can come up and just share a few words. Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm thrilled to be joining the Cherry Hill Public School family. I'm especially grateful for the opportunity to serve as principal of the Stockton Elementary School. And I'm looking forward to getting to know my community, my students, staff, and the community of Cherry Hill at large. Thank you again so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Fantastic. And I'll just note that we the board appointed this evening Karen Rockhill officially as the interim principal. Ms. Totem-Pudi her start date is on or about December 1st. So welcome. Definitely a pleasure. Also want to say welcome back to Mrs. Leslie Walker. Ms. Walker will be serving as the interim principal of High School East and moving forward. Ms. Walker knows Cherry Hill. and she knows it very well. She's been a teacher and administrator here in the district. She's been a parent here in the district. She's had multiple children graduate from High School East, actually. She's been a district superintendent. She's done a number of interim principal, I was going to say gigs, but that wouldn't be professional now, would it? Assignments, a number of interim principal assignments. She comes to us with a wealth of experience. It's my pleasure to ask Leslie to come up and just share a few words.
I saw so many familiar faces over here. It's like a throwback night for me. It's really exciting. I started here in Cherry Hill in 1995. And I left in 2005. So I was here for 10 years, and it was a time of great change here. And Dr. Morton Sherman was the superintendent. And I'm having a really hard time not calling you Mort because by the end of the 10 years, we were on a first name basis. So I have to, I'm going through that. It's like a really crazy thing with your last name. I'm happy to be here. I'm thankful for the offer of this opportunity to go to East. It's near and dear my heart. I have 3 children, 33, 36, and 39, Bret Hart, Beck, Cherry Hill East. An anecdote from my son, who's 39 and is also an educator now with his master's in education and special ed and going on for his administration. He got his B- to keep his parents off his back throughout his time at East. He graduated in 04, and he got his B- just to get it off his back. Then he went away to college. He went to Towson University. And after about 2 weeks, he called home and he said, "Oh my God, Mom, I am more prepared than any kid in this school." And I thought, whoa, with a B- coming out of Cherry Hill school system from kindergarten through 12th, that had him prepared. And he was able to say that. And that's what this school district did. And I have no doubt that it is the same now. I was part of the whole movement of changing from a junior high model to the true middle school model. I bought into it. And it has been my passion throughout my career. I've been a middle school person, and I hear you're moving to the junior high model. I read about it this summer, and that's why I actually reached out, because I know there were so many budget cuts to this school, and because there were changes. And I thought, I was really retired. My husband's a teacher, 27 years retired. And I said, I think I want to go back. And that was kind of a push, but he's happy I'm coming back. And I just wanted to say, in ending, I'm thrilled that you're going back to the junior high model. And the reason I'm thrilled about it, I don't know whether it was forced or whether it was research or what made you decide to do that, but I'm thrilled because it's 20 years later, and because needs have changed, because kids have changed, because opportunities have changed. And as much as I loved creating that middle school model and being a part of it and carrying it on to different districts, I'm thrilled to see that Cherry Hill is ready to move when it needs to move and ready to change when it needs to change. And I wish you great success with that at the middle school. Thank you again. I'm just beyond excited to be at Cherry Hill East and fill that seat until you get a permanent position. And I hope I do you proud. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're delighted to have both of you joining us here in the district. Moving on to P&L. Mr. Mayor, can you please move the P&L agenda?
Again, the superintendent recommends, and I move the following item 17.1, remote attendance. These are all for first reading, anticipate move to second reading at the next meeting. Item 16, policy 1620, which is administrative employment contracts. Policy 1648, record keeping. This is the abolishment of the record keeping for healthcare settings in school buildings. That was an abolished COVID-19 policy. Policy 2422 on circular requirements and the new student son protection policy 5339.01. It was brought to my attention earlier that item 17.2, which is our student representative to the board policy, does need some additional language with regard to onboarding process and meetings. And in that regard, I don't know that it would be appropriate to vote on that for second reading today. So is there a motion? I'll call for a motion to hold 17.2 for those changes for our next meeting. Recommit.
So I'm hearing on the floor, there's a motion to recommit that item, policy 10143.2 to the P and L committee for further revision. It's the motion on the floor. Is there a second? Ms. Stern seconded. All in favor of recommitting that policy back to P and L for further revision? The motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on, item 17.3, resolution for the recognition of School Violence Awareness Week. Item 17.4, referenced earlier by Dr. Morton, a resolution for recognition of the Week of Respect. And item 17.5, approval of the Cherry Hill Public Schools HIB self-assessments and statements of assurances. Any questions or comments? Dr. Dreisen.
Thank you. I know this is just first read. But maybe can you share more from the P&L discussion on policy 2422 in 17.1? I just could use a little bit more context on the revisions being suggested.
Whether or not this is a fair to pass off to Dr. Mahan or not, Dr. Mahan.
Sure, maybe it's state Strauss Esme. That's why I was just
Yeah.
curious to get some more context on these updates.
Yeah, given the breadth of the policy, I noted, had there been an opportunity to respond to questions earlier in the week, we would have been happy to have done it at the table. I'm not prepared to do that at the table. Dr. Mahan, if there are any specific comments you might be able to help Dr. Dreisen with.
And it's first read, so we can have
Sure.
this in between now and the next meeting. I just thought this is an opportunity to discuss it.
Well, let's do
Yeah.
that then. I would be more than happy to provide that information prior to the next meeting. So by second reading, you'd be that much more comfortable.
Well, I think it would be helpful for the board just to hear context if they're, yeah.
Okay, all right, then we're gonna, Dr. Mahan says she may have some information that'd be helpful.
Great.
Sorry, we're mic deprived over here. So the updates to policy 2422 relate, directly to statutory curricular requirements. The policy before used to speak directly to health and physical education. Now the policy is encompassing a variety of topics, including items that are indicated in the QSAC process. So the language is moving away from health and physical education and changing the title of the entire policy to statutory curricular requirements. So there are things in here that speak to bullying prevention, gang violence awareness, cancer awareness, sexual assault prevention, Lyme disease, history of the disabled and LGBTQ+. And then it also goes in to speak to the overall curriculum requirements for language around inclusivity. So that's what it includes.
Thank you. And these changes are coming from the state, or are they Cherry Hill specific?
These are changes that are coming from the state. And we did receive an update from Strauss Esme, and we are now updating the policy to reflect the changes that are included.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And also just to add on to that, during our discussion at P&L, we did not entertain any consideration for Cherry Hill specific language.
Mr. Mayor.
Mrs. Stern.
Just as a member of the committee, just to clarify, one of the recommendations from Dr. Mahan in taking the helm as liaison is to really move away from what Dr. Mahan referred to as the orphan policies. That seems to be kind of not a best practice. And Cherry Hill has quite a few orphan policies, which are policies that maybe differ from kind of standard language state, Strauss Esme. So just as a point of clarification from our committee, and that kind of comes up every meeting, trying to really steer away from orphan policies and really try to be more standardized to the state, the state recommended language coming down from Strauss Esme. So just, it's a good question. And I think we're really trying to, not that there aren't occasions where we, need to kind of modify it, but yeah, moving away from that. I think that we've generally been in agreement in the committee, Dr. Braddock and Mr. Mayor, that makes a lot of sense, and it's under the guidance of Dr. Mahan to follow that. So we've really been trying to.
Thank you. All right, seeing no additional questions, I have is there a motion? Oh, we
You
already
moved.
did. All right.
Yep.
And Mr. Schimpf, would you be so kind as to open the voting?
Voting is open. Motion carries.
Thank you. There is nothing for governance this evening, so moving on to new business. Are there any board members who have new business tonight to raise? I don't see any new business. Are there any board members who have old business to raise? Dr. Dreisen.
Yeah, just on a personal note to put it on the record, I had committed at the start of my tenure to complete the requirements for a new board member boardmanship certification. And so I'm happy to report that I've completed all of the requirements. So now it's just in processing phase, hopefully within the next month. But that was something I was eager to do. I really credit Ms. Sherfain and Ms. Gallagher. I encourage everyone to look into the professional development opportunities through the NJSBA.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. That's wonderful news. Just to piggyback off of that, I want to remind everybody that our board retreat is coming up. It's on the district calendar. That will be October 13th. That is one of our requirements on the path to full board certification. In addition to individual certification, we're pursuing that as a board, and the topic will be the board self-evaluation and the development of board goals for the first time in a long time. So we are taking those steps forward. Does anybody else have old business this evening? Ms. Stern.
So first of all, congratulations. It's exciting. And I think on the topic of what we might think of as a little bit of like extracurriculars or, outside of kind of meetings and stuff, I just really want to thank Dr. Morton and the team for inviting us to events in the community. I think they're really important, really gives us a sense of our, what's going on and connecting with the students and the families. And I just want to shout out to the board members, who are signing up and encourage everyone to continue to do so. It really, when I first got on the board, actually, and it was just kind of coming out of COVID, it was 2021. And that had all stopped. We weren't going to events. We weren't in the community. And then that came back under board president Ben Ovadia at the time. He really emphasized how important it is. So I just really want to kind of raise that, and maybe that was maybe a little bit more new business, but that it's an important opportunity. And quite honestly, although I was joking around about this, the competition with Mrs. Winters and didn't realize it too, Mrs. Palmer, but I think, I think we do need to all, do our fair share as well. I'm going to just put that out there. So, as much as we can, it's a volunteer job, but it really enriches our experience. And I think it's important to the community that actually, people will comment on that. It makes a difference when we show up. So I just, want to, again, thank you for the opportunity. I know there's a lot of them. We have a lot of schools, a lot of things going on, but they're really great events. So thank you.
Ms. Sherfain.
I have two. I first wanted to clarify my vote for agenda item 14.8 because I think that I might have recorded it incorrectly. My intention was to abstain only from 14.7 and yes for the rest of that section, but I think that I accidentally abstained from the whole thing. I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, thank you. And then I do have one item. My intention was to do this at the October meeting, but for sake of radical transparency, I decided that I will do it at both meetings just to give an update on the redistricting committee that we had
You scared me for a minute there.
this month. Oh, sorry.
The last time this happened, Ms. Gallagher resigned. Don't do that to
Oh,
me.
yeah, no. No, you would know if I was
Like-
doing that. I wouldn't spring that on you for sure. And you can't get rid of me that easy. But anyway, so I wanted to give an update on the redistricting committee that we had this month on September 22nd, because I think it's important. The more we talk about this, hopefully you all can spread the word to everybody else that's not here or in cyberspace. But we met on September 22nd. The committee members, Dr. Braddock, Mr. Mayor, myself, and Ms. Winters met with Dr. Morton and Mr. Guy. We reviewed our plan for the rest of this year on a communication plan around this and some more sensing sessions or community input meetings that we will be having. In October, there will be a lot of planning by Dr. Morton and Mr. Guy and the team to deliver a video, first and foremost, outlining the intentions behind redistricting, the issues that we're facing, and why we are redistricting. That video will hopefully serve as a purpose to give some background information, primarily for the meetings that we'll be having in November. We will be having 3 meetings to gain more community input specifically for redistricting. The first will be at Cherry Hill East on November 13th at 7 p.m. The second will be at Cherry Hill West on November 18th at 7 p.m. And then we will hold a virtual meeting that's open, obviously, to everybody. They're all open to everybody, but virtual will also be an option if you cannot attend the other 2 in person, and that will be November 20th at 7 p.m. So spread the word on that one. The intentions behind these meetings are a less formal discussion and ability for those board members that will be in attendance to have more dialogue related to the redistricting process and to gain more insight from more community members. We also had a discussion on ensuring that all of the work that has been done to date on this and the input that was given by the group of community members last year on redistricting would continue to be a part of this process. Some of the issues that we're facing, we want to make sure that the community understands that everything that's going into this is to optimize multiple factors throughout the entire district, primarily around transportation efficiencies, the special education plan, and overcrowding, which is probably the biggest issue that we're facing and why we're redistricting. So looking forward to a video starring our superintendent and with some more information on really just the why behind all of this. So please watch that video. For those of you listening that are in the room, please watch that video before attending the one or all of the meetings that we're having. Our intention is really to optimize that time together to hear from as many community members as possible. We will not have a decision by any stretch of the imagination by that day. It's really just to hear from all of you and to engage into some discussion. The intention is by the end of this year, we'll have some more data and compile all of the input from the community members. And then hopefully by the end of January, we'll have more of a definitive idea of where we're going with this and to be implemented in the 27-28 year. So that is our timeline for this. I know we have some goals related to our strategic plan around redistricting. So we will be reevaluating them at each of our committee meetings and ensure that we're keeping in time with the timelines that we originally set up for that. So more to come. I'll reiterate all of this at our next meeting, but if you are able to attend any of those meetings, please attend them and spread the word, because this is really the opportunity for us to hear from as many of the community members as possible so that everybody understands that we're listening and trying to make the best decision for what will impact generations in this district.
Thank you so much. And thank you for your leadership on this. This is probably the biggest project we're tackling currently. And it's a heavy lift, and I really appreciate you taking the lead. Are there any other board members who have old business this evening? Seeing no takers on old business, I'm going to move to second public comment. Public comment is an opportunity for members of the community to provide input to the Board of Education on educational issues. The board welcomes diverse opinions on relevant matters. However, statements that are abusive, obscene, or which demean or are defamatory to any individual or any group of individuals will not be tolerated. Such comments are disruptive to the orderly operation of this meeting. Speakers wishing to provide the board with information which is not relevant to the district's operations may communicate directly with the superintendent and the board president via email or other alternative means. Just like first public comment, you will have 3 minutes. We will start in the room as we always do. Was there anybody who would like to make second public comment on any topic this evening? Please approach the microphone. Just give us your name and municipality.
Because of some concerns that I wanted to be sure you all knew about. I don't know any of you. I've never been involved with the school board, but I did serve on the New Jersey Commission for Holocaust Education for a number of years. And I just wanted to make you aware and see what you might offer. because I'm getting phone calls from the tri-state area, people who are very concerned and up in arms about where Cherry Hill is headed with some of their DEI policies, singling out people, calling people Nazis, white supremacists, and I'm getting a lot of calls. And my kids went to Cherry Hill. I went to Cherry Hill schools. It seems to me patently unacceptable to be moving in this direction or allowing this to go on in the schools or pushing this some sort of agenda. So I just wanted to say, sometimes we live in a bubble, and I don't know what your bubble might be, but there are many communities in the tri-state area that see Cherry Hill as not what it used to be and as a failed community for allowing this to go on. So I'm wondering if anybody could direct me to information that might clarify what really, what you think is going on versus the perception in the public, because I'm not going to let it go. I'm a resident here. My kids are long gone, but it's really disturbing knowing the realities and going to schools for years and teaching about the Holocaust, to have anybody in this community be referred to as a Nazi because they have different opinions. To me, it's patently unacceptable, and it's what I work for. So I'm hoping somebody can give me some direction, because I'm going to dive, into this a little deeper. I wanted to come see for myself who you all are and what you have to say about things. And I hope you take my comment with the way it was intended. I really want better for Cherry Hill, and it's just really ugly, what I'm hearing. So I hope somehow this can get addressed. Nobody should be made to be called a Nazi. I know what Nazis are. I'm hoping you guys do. We don't have Nazis in Cherry Hill. We have differences of opinions, but we don't have Nazis. So I'm wondering what we can do. If somebody can direct me to a website or information about what the goals for the district are and how they're being sort of pushed out to the kids, I'd appreciate it. It's very upsetting to me.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
And just to clarify, because you said that you haven't interacted with the school board much, a public comment, it's not a time for us to go back and forth. So I don't want you to think that we're not understanding, but somebody will come and speak with you at the end of the meeting to clarify next steps going forward. Okay. Of course. That's why we're here. All right, going online, the first person with their hand raised, it says iPhone. If you can unmute and give us your name and municipality.
Lori Neary, Cherry Hill. I just wanted to congratulate Miss Manziano. I had a wonderful conversation with her and her husband earlier this evening, and I think she'll be a wonderful addition to the school board. And I also wanted to say congratulations to the new interim principal at High School East. Welcome back to the community. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comment. All right, going back to the room, is there anyone else who would like to make second public comment? Seems to be a decision occurring. Please approach the microphone. Give us your name and municipality.
I'm Sarah Jocelyn. I'm from Cherry Hill. First, I'd like to congratulate the incoming principal from Stockton, the new interim from East, welcoming to the people to come to the Cherry Hill community. I particularly tonight would like to thank the efforts of Mrs. Gervain to answer my questions in advance of public comment. I think that report is well received, and I'm looking forward to continuing action on the part of the redistricting. I applaud you all for attending every school. I didn't have a checklist, but you hit a lot of them. So thank you for that. I truly appreciate the questions that were asked during the interview session. I think they were very revealing and helped you to make a decision. I know there were some differences of opinion, but you worked it out, and thank you for the board for working for consensus. What I thought was a very important thing is what would add value to the board. And that to me was a very revealing question that was included in here, because we have an existing board and we want to represent the full nature of the community. And I felt some of the aspects there were really an important point to be making. I do remind you that in Cherry Hill, not only do we have the redistricting going on, but we are still working towards our movement for the 10-year plan for affordable housing, which will be the deadline for making any amendments or so forth is kind of the end of this year. So that's going to be coming into the timeline that is going on. And as of course, you know, New Jersey is 250,000 units short on housing. So this is an issue, relatively large issue for everyone. I thank the board for the work towards the strategic plan. And I applaud the fact that you're going to have a retreat and work on board goals. So thank you so much.
Thank you for your comment. Going back online, the next person is a caller with a phone number ending 788. Please unmute and give us your name and municipality.
My name is Jeff Potowitz, and I live in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. One article that you should all refer to is Camden County's effective property tax rate ranks second among more than 3,000 counties in the U.S. My God, we are being taxed enough and overtaxed enough. One way to help that is if we get our fair share of aid. We're not. Our administration has not done enough. Our politicians have not done enough. And I've been speaking about this for a good 20 years. I understand it. I'm not listened to, and I've been criticized for what I said. All right? An example of what's going on is Perth Amboy has this beautiful new high school, gorgeous, state-of-the-art high school. And they paid about the state paid about $500 a square foot. We added classrooms, preschool classrooms, just classrooms. All right, I'm not talking about what's inside of them, and it's not state of the art. We paid about $630 a square foot. Okay. That's all. We paid top dollar. They got their money's worth. But everything's fine, but I'm just telling you, we paid a lot more than they did. About someone who just talked, this is not my thing. It's not what I talk about. Though the first time I talked about anti-Semitism in the Cherry Hill School District was May of 2022. And I was talking about it, what we saw from the right. The Nazis took Manhattan. Took Manhattan, that whole story back then. In 2023, May again, a Veterans Day, I spoke about anti-Semitism and the oldest hatred that was written in AARP magazine. I was interrupted of speaking when I started to talk about what the Holocaust was and the Nazis wanted to wipe out every Jew from the face of the earth, which a book my father had from military intelligence, just classified. That's all, the lowest level. But the State Department this from British Naval Intelligence said that. So I understand a little bit of what's going on. The most that you could find is from the article, a group that was supporting a student at Cherry Hill East. But yes, I understand it, and I've talked about it, and they do shut you up. They do quiet you because I was interrupted speaking, just like I was interrupted today, because they didn't want to hear what I said. All right, because I talk about special ed. I know that more than I know about anti-Semitism. I'm not the one to talk about that kid. You could, if you could get in touch with me. Yeah, I could tell you a little bit about what's going on, but I'm not the be-all or end-all.
Thank you, Dr. Potowitz. Thank you for your comment. Going back to the room, is there anyone else who would like to make second public comment?
Ann Einhorn, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Hope I not go too hoarse on you. I'm sure that would be a pleasure for some. On September the 25th, I had the privilege of attending an A1 discussion, which our superintendent attended as one of the main speakers and contributors, which I actually found quite fascinating, which was sponsored by Smart Social. So I consider myself to be a dinosaur in the district. And I was speaking to another semi-dinosaur. I prefer to be a brontosaurus when push comes to shove. So a couple of things that we discussed were do we as a district create some kind of hybrid system? Because it could be a useful tool with ups, obviously its ups and downs. Or is public education, not in my lifetime, becoming a dying industry? I really think, Dr. Morton, that if it's, unless there's copyright issues, you need to put this on our district website, because you'd indicated there has been some movement. I didn't go back in my notes for CNI about the discussions about A1 AI, but Worcestershire sauce, right? I think it'd be a great tool for our community, especially those that are so computer literate, it blows my mind. I'm not one of those people. But I did find the comments and the suggestions as to how it could be used to be marvelous. So if that's something that we could do some way, somehow, and congratulations, I'm glad that you were there to speak on behalf of Cherry Hill. Mrs. Sokoloff, I was there that evening and it was an insult. And it should have been stopped because those kind of words don't belong here. I understood the frustration of the board member having sat on that side of table at one time, but it should have been stopped at that time by the people in charge. It really was a difficult situation, especially when your grandparents helped people escape Nazi Germany. My husband was Jewish. I just, to this day, that the suit for the New Jersey, I'm not going to go on. It was a disgrace that he was not censored for at least 6 months after those remarks were made. I would like to say something, though, about interrupting people when they call in or stand here at the mic. If you're going to continue to do this, and it's been going on all year, Ms. Winters, you have to stop the clock immediately if you're going to have dialogue. And if you don't, then you have to give the seconds back. We only get 3 minutes, and sometimes it is not enough. Regardless of what someone is saying, that is the right. Thank you.
All right, going back online, the next caller, the name is Michael. Michael, if you could unmute, give us your name and municipality.
Good evening. My name is Michael Nussbaum. I'm a teacher in the Camden City School District, a doctoral student in educational leadership, and most importantly, a father of a child currently in Cherry Hill schools. I'm also a second-generation Cherry Hill resident. My mother grew up here, I grew up here, and now my son represents the third generation. I'm here tonight because I'm deeply concerned about how the district has handled my son's special education services. His individualized education program has remained virtually unchanged for the past 3 years, with only superficial edits. The goals written for him are not only not SMART goals, meaning that they are not specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Okay, without these SMART goals, there's no clear pathway for growth, no accountability, and no way to measure progress in a meaningful way. As a teacher myself, I know that inclusion matters. Research consistently shows us that when students with autism and other disabilities are placed in inclusive settings with the right supports, they thrive. To use a simple metaphor, if you keep a fish in a small bowl, its growth is limited. But if you place that same fish in a larger tank, it has room to grow. Right now, my son is being contained rather than given the space and opportunities he needs to flourish. When I requested an IEP meeting this summer, I was outright denied. When I raised the issue with higher level supervisors, I was told in so many words, if you don't like it, go to the state. That's not collaboration. That is dismissive and adversarial. Families should not be forced into litigation just to get their children's needs met. We did go to the state. We entered mediation. Yet, instead of working towards solution, the district attempted to condition basic inclusion services on waiving my legal rights. That is not how the law is supposed to work. Even now, we cannot seem to secure adequate mediation time with the judge. It feels like a strategy of delay rather than a commitment to resolution. In addition, 3 separate outside therapists who observed my son in school independently reported the same concerns. His goals are not appropriate, his progress is not being measured effectively, and staff are not equipped to meet his needs. This is not just not my opinion, it is a professional assessment of licensed providers. I am here now not only as a parent, but as an educator who has dedicated my career to serving students, especially those with unique needs. I know how hard this work is, but I also know it can be done and must be done. Cherry Hill is a proud community, but we cannot rest on our laurels. We must do better for our children, mine and every child with special needs, every child facing bullying, and every child who learns differently. I am asking the board and the district to take responsibility to honor the intent of IDEA and to treat families as true partners. My son and all of our students deserve nothing less than a system that sets them up to grow, achieve, and thrive. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comment. We appreciate it. Going back to the room, is there anyone else who would like to give second public comment tonight? Please approach the microphone.
We need to have a truth reckoning, in this school board. We need truth. We don't need lies. Hate is at the highest across America right now. Hate is at the highest because we can't identify hate. Policy 2100, anti-racist policy. Students who have a racial identity other than white, we've been saying that this is racist for years. Is that true? Or is this district just dumb? Madam President, you once said too many white kids in Russell Knight, and that's a problem. You never apologized for that. That's racist. Again, that causes more hate. Recently, a town councilwoman said putting people of color in concentration camps at this mic. She never apologized. Again, causing more hate in the community. Teaching white privilege in school. More hate in our community. It's so funny that when I accidentally said staff of color wrong, a statement was made by the Cherry Hill Public Schools, statements from the Cherry Hill Board of Education regarding unacceptable language. What I said is also under the recruitment and hiring staff of color, I said that wrong. You forgot about the LGBT community. Wow, that's what I said. No, but a school board member is now allowed to come up to a mic and call the community right-wing extremists, white nationalists, and modern-day Nazis, and it's normalized. This is not acceptable, and it's not fair. It is unbelievable that this happened to me when I accidentally said staff of color wrong, and the school board member gets away with calling half of the town right-wing extremists, white nationalists, and modern-day Nazis. It is unbelievable the way this district is operating. And then the lies or the truth. What is truth? What is lies? Goldie Muhammad yelling out, oh, agenda items, that's whiteness. Do you think this is good? Do you think this is good for children's heads? These consultants that you guys have? You can't hide anymore. You cannot hide anymore. The truth is coming out. Oh, under student safety. This is unbelievable. You guys ignored the Rutgers University report that our consultants are causing a hostile environment. But you keep it. It is unbelievable what you do with hate. You're just teaching more hate.
Thank you for your comment. Going back online, the next caller is Kim. Kim, if you can unmute and give us your name and municipality.
Yes, hi. Kim Gallagher, Cherry Hill. Let me grab my notes. Okay, so I wanted to start off by just making the board aware that, one of the bond projects was a new playground at Horace Mann. And I don't know what happened, but somehow the original location of the playground was changed. And it was put to essentially a remote area of the back of the school, which means that we don't have enough staff to watch the kids on the blacktop and the swings and the playground. So that playground sits idle every single day. The kids are not allowed to use it. And it's sad. And I've talked to our principal, I've been made aware. And I think that the community needs to know that, we put all this money into this playground and other bond projects, and we can't even use it or our kids can't use it at school. And in order to use it, we have to spend more money to hire more recess employees to watch the kids. So it's kind of a money suck right there. Secondly, thank you, Mrs. Sherfain, for the progress update for the redistricting. I will just make the board aware that there were 2 other KPIs under priority 2 that should have been done this month. And that was a communication campaign launched and a first meeting of the collaborative advisory panel. So I would just hope that the board is constantly looking at goals and making sure that items are being met on time. And if not, then they can be reevaluated. But already 2 items were not, and I haven't even looked at the other priorities to see if anything was due in September. So I know it's a tight timeline for redistricting. So just, make sure that you're staying on track because it's a huge project. And I would also say, I don't know what a collaborative advisory panel is exactly. And I don't know if you're taking applications. But if you are, I think it'd be nice to maybe make the community aware how they could potentially be a part of it. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Going back to the room, is there anyone else who would like to approach the microphone and make a comment? Seeing no one in the room, going back online, I see Brendan is back, who we asked to come back at second public comment. Go ahead, Brendan, it's your turn. Give us your name and municipality.
Thank you. Happy to be back. I apologize for being improper with the first one. I've never done one of these. First, I'd like to say that I would appreciate, just from looking at it from a perspective of a student or anyone who isn't familiar with the Board of Education and how their agenda works, that maybe we should make it a little bit more accessible. I feel like I spent 20-30 minutes trying to find it. It wasn't super easy, but I found it. I also like to say that I appreciate the board being so local and going to all the back to school meetings. As in our class, we've learned about how much local government actually does what the federal government can't. So I really appreciate that. And I also want to comment that this has been a great look into local government with all the perspective from the community coming out so far. And I can't wait to write my paper. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brendan. We were happy to help with your paper. Is there anyone else in the community who would like to approach the microphone for second public comment? Go ahead, name and municipality.
Andy McIlvain, Cherry Hill. This is in regard to the goals of the district and the 5-year plan. So this is just a kind of a random comment. I'm hoping that as we go through the process of developing the next 5 years, I'd like to see a robust conversation about the meaning of academic success and academic excellence. One thing I would like to see is a common definition of the term, because I've always had difficulty defining it except in relative terms. As an example, I'm the youngest of 3 siblings. I have 2 older sisters, both of whom hold higher degrees than I do. The oldest is Phi Beta Kappa from Northwestern University with a PhD from Cornell. The middle sister is a scientist and an MD who practiced family medicine for over 30 years, high academic achievers both. For years, I took pride in the fact that I was the top person in the bottom half of my high school class, until I discovered I had misread my class rank and had in fact been the bottom person in the top half. I did manage to get a BA in history and an MBA from Penn, so I don't think I did too badly. But as I said, success is relative, and I'm 3rd out of 3 in my relatives. Lesson here, despite that, I did okay. So maybe the concept should be part of the discussion as we go forward. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Going back online, I don't see anyone with their hands raised. Going back into the room, is there anyone else who would like to make second public comment tonight? Okay, I'm going to close second public comment and move on to superintendent comments.
Madam President, may I make a point of clarification, please?
Yes.
First of all, I want to say, as a board member who's sat in this seat for, this is my 5th year, and who attended years of meetings before, I want to just state for the record, there are many inaccuracies that have been said tonight throughout public comments. Many. Inaccuracy in language, inaccuracy in portrayal. So I wanted to make that comment. The second comment I wanted to make, which I actually probably should have mentioned during, this is a point of clarification, during our correspondence, is that I was at the Man Back to School night. And I had a chance to see not only the new APR, which I think I might have mentioned, but I also saw the new playground, which is directly accessible to the wing where our special education students attend school. Those students have an entire wing in that school, and they have an opportunity to have a very safe and well-designed new playground. So just to clarify, that is a challenge in terms of having that accessible to all the students. But my understanding is it is used on a very regular basis, I believe every single day, by the special education students in that school. So just wanted to clarify that information so that we have an accurate understanding of that.
Thank you. Moving on to superintendent comments.
Thank you very much for those clarifications, Ms. Stern. Yeah, just to echo what you said. So during recess, there's a separate playground and other space for kids to play during recess. The new playground is adjacent to the self-contained area, and it is utilized almost exclusively, really, by the children in those programs. Myself, Mr. Guy, had an opportunity to go over and watch that and watch it in action. It's actually a beautiful thing to see. It's actually definitely a beautiful thing to see. So I had intended to clarify that. In reference to hateful comments and the district endorsing those, I mean, clearly our district does not support any type of hateful comments, any type of derogatory language, any type of bullying, harassment. There's protocols, there's policy, there's state regulations as well that we're required to implement and enforce. Our district website is littered and filled with examples of goals and statements about what we believe as a district. Mr. Guy, can you raise your hand, Mr. Guy? Mr. Guy heads up our Access and Opportunities Committee. Ms. Sakalau, he'll touch base with you to just speak with you directly about your specific anecdote, and then also to talk to you about some of the work that we are doing here within the district. I enjoyed the AI conversation. Thank you very much, Ms. Einhorn, for watching that. Presents tremendous opportunities for us and for our district. There's some things that are somewhat like the Wild Wild West, so we want to introduce it in somewhat of a controlled manner where our teachers have control over some of the inputs that students are putting into the chat bots, essentially, as they are. We utilize a program called School AI that allows us to have some control over those parameters, but also allow the students to take advantage of, and staff to take advantage of the power of AI. It's still a learning process. We're still growing as we're moving forward, but we will have much more conversation in the coming weeks and months within this district. We are examining an AI policy as well. We look forward to the work that will take place. With that being said, thank you to the candidates, as was stated this evening, who came out and who vocalized their interest in serving this community. We definitely appreciate you. Have a great night.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Ms. Stern?
I'm excited to go see my family. It just came in from Israel today. So thank you.
So
So we're
exciting.
finishing early. Now I can go see them. So I definitely second that.
All those in favor of adjourning? The motion carries. The meeting is adjourned.